All right, you've completed the first test. Now let's start looking at the results. There's two key metrics we're going to be looking for, and then that's going to determine what is a successful pain point versus something that we might need to refine a little bit more. So the two metrics are cost per click all and click-through rate all. Those two metrics combined give a really strong indication of whether or not the problem statement, the pain that you're trying to solve, resonates with your audience. So we're looking for a click-through rate of over 1%, or really, did 1 in 100 people click on this or more, and a cost per click of under 50 cents. The reason why I love the cost per click one is because, first of all, it gives us a very early indication of our cost of customer acquisition. How much am I paying to get 100 people to my site? Because based off of known web metrics, we're going to say, hey, we want 100 people to get to my site. We want somewhere between 10 to 40% of people to engage in a more meaningful way. We want 5 to 8% of people to proceed or show intent to purchase, with the expectation of somewhere between 1 and 5% of people to proceed forward with that purchase or the sign up for a demo or downloading the content that you've provided. I just wanted to make sure that you all know exactly where to find some of these metrics. So this is just an example of an old campaign that we've run. I've clicked in all the way down to my ads for that one specific ad set that we ran. And here I'm going to make sure my columns say performance and clicks. When I click into that, if it doesn't show up as a default, it usually shows up within this section. So I'm going to click performance and clicks and then scroll all the way to the right. So over here, I can see my click-through rate all and my cost per click all. I can now sort these so that I can make sure that either I have this one going from the highest to the lowest, or I can go here and change this to be the lowest to the highest. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that I have the right cost per click and the right click-through rate. And now if you see here, these top ones here are ones that have all passed. So I have a click-through rate over 1% and a cost per click of under 50 cents. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look for at least 5 of these pain points. We need 5 because we're going to use these to iterate and change and improve upon these things. If you have more than 5, amazing. We're not throwing anything away. We're going to use everything that goes over that threshold. If you haven't hit that threshold with at least 5, don't worry. There's a bunch of different things that we can do. First thing we can do is we can play with our audience. Second, we can change the language. Sometimes small tweaks in language, changing them from extremely negative statements into positive statements or vice versa, can have a huge impact. So don't worry just yet. Let's just keep trying and see what happens. If you already have 5 or more pain points that have crossed those thresholds, so it's over 1% click-through rate and under 50 cents cost per click, great, you're ready. You can move on to the next stage. This stage is all about making sure that the pain, the aspiration, the struggle, the problem that you're trying to solve resonates with your audience. If your metrics are close but not quite there, don't skip. Keep trying. Sometimes small changes in language can have a huge impact. If you have a couple but not all of them, great, try some more. Go back to some of your research, pull up another couple pain points. Just keep testing and trying until you can hit the right metrics. If you greatly surpass some of these metrics, amazing. We've had people with 15% click-through rates and like 5 cents per click. Those are amazing scores. It does not guarantee you success at this point, but it's a strong indication that people are really actively looking to solve the problem that you have. So we're going to keep going, but don't throw out anything. We're only going to use about 5 of these pain points in the next iteration so that we can turn them into headlines. But the pain points that you've described, the ones that have worked, are amazing content. Just think, you can now go back to that homepage that you built, the one that was just good enough, and start adding some of this pain, some of this messaging into this site. So now that story that you're telling gets stronger and stronger and stronger. If it doesn't work at all, you have 2 things to consider. 1, your audience really truly isn't on Facebook. I'm going to be a little surprised, but that's okay. It happens. It has happened. Or 2, the problem that you're trying to solve just doesn't resonate with your audience. Now, it doesn't mean the product is a bad idea. It means that sometimes you're too early, or you have to find another audience who might be more interested in your solution than the one that you originally thought of. So keep trying. Use this as a chance to iterate. If you found that you cannot find your audience on Facebook, our next chapter is going to talk through some other methods that you can use to try and use the same languaging to test your story with your audience and make sure it works. So there are other alternatives, but this one sometimes is the cleanest and best. So again, we need at least 5 pain points that have hit those metrics of a cost per click under 50 cents and a click-through rate over 1%. If you have those, great. If not, give it another go. Try it again, iterate a little bit, and push out some more content and see what happens. If you're really stuck at this point and you need some help, reach out and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible.